Hey everybody, this is Dee Williams, and you are listening to episode number 9 of the Staffing Startup.tv podcast. Let's get fired up.
Welcome to Staffing Startup.tv, the podcast that gives you direct access to the world's leading recruitment, staffing, and startup experts. Dee Williams speaks with amazing thought leaders, venture capitalists, and technology trendsetters about their journey, challenges, and successes related to recruitment, staffing, and hiring. Now, here's your host, Dee Williams.
Oh yeah, we're now at episode number 9. Are you kidding? We are rocking it out over here at the Staffing Startup.tv podcast, where we get fired up about recruitment and staffing, niche recruitments and staffing to be exact. And, when I have an opportunity to get on the mic and to really express myself in the way that only Dee Williams can, I get fired up really because I have an opportunity to share some of the things that I have learned throughout my journey starting businesses, right? And here, this podcast in particular, we're focusing solely on recruitment and staffing, but I've started a number of businesses. And there's one thing that I find that is probably the most valuable thing that you can do for your business, your brand, your company, the company that you work for, if you're passionate about the company that you work for, all of those things. There's one thing that you absolutely must do and or know and remember. Okay. And that is you must understand your company's value proposition. Now, I know that sounds like a scary word to some of you because many of you like to get into the mix of things without doing the foundational legwork that's necessary. However, when you miss out on defining what your value proposition is, you lose the opportunity to scale, right? You give yourself an opportunity for sure. Some of you will definitely go out there and do some amazing things with your business. However, you'll only get but so far, because the reality is that you absolutely need to know, understand, and remember your value proposition in order to show the people that you want to do business with why they should choose you over the competition. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this conversation, because it's about to get serious, this episode is sponsored by Identifies Consulting, where if you're looking to become a recruiter, you need rookie recruitment training, they can assist you with that. If you're looking to hire a recruiter, they can assist you with that. And not just a recruiter, but a recruitment professional. If you're looking to find a recruitment job opportunity, anywhere, talent acquisition, recruitment, they can help you with that. If you're looking for training for your recruitment and staffing team, Identifies Consulting can help you with that. If you're looking to start your very own niche recruitment and staffing business, Identifies Consulting can help you with that too. So if you are looking to get into the world of recruitment and staffing, either working for someone, hiring for someone, training, or starting your own thing, Identifies Consulting is the way to go. Woo! Okay, let's get started. Now listen. So this value proposition thing is so imperative. Most people don't get their value proposition. They don't even know what it is. When I ask newbies and even some of the established recruitment and staffing businesses, what is your value proposition? They tell me, we have quality candidates. Well, guess what? Everyone says that. Oh, we have a database of candidates, hundreds and thousands of resumes. Everyone says that as well. We can get candidates fast. Can you prove it? Everybody says that. Our price, we're cheaper than the next guy. Well, how does that benefit your business? And how does that benefit your client's business? Really, right? So all of those things can be value propositions in the right instance, but those are also the same things that every other agency on the planet is saying. Listen, your value proposition is really what sets you apart from every other recruitment and staffing business out there. And when in the heck that we decide that we have to keep the same value proposition with every staffing agency that's out there, all 19,000 agencies, we all carry and say the same thing. I want to inspire you to expand your thought process and to see what else you can offer your clients. Now, some of you may be listening to this saying, well, Dee, I thought that was the norm. I mean, what else do I offer my clients? Like, I don't know what other value proposition there is. Well, of course, there are tons. But before you can figure out what your additional value proposition is, the one thing that I would encourage you to do is to start a competitor search, a competitor shakedown. You heard me talk about it in one of the earlier podcast episodes that we've done. You want to conduct a competitive shakedown. Why? Because that gives you an opportunity, one, to see what your competitors are doing and what they're not doing. Once you compile the list of what they're offering and what they're not offering, what they're doing well and what they're doing crappy, you want to expand on that. And the only way that you can expand on that is by connecting specifically with your target audience at this point. That means connecting with your hiring managers and connecting with your candidates, because remember, you have two audiences. You have two markets. We talked about this in an earlier episode. So if you don't remember, go back to the beginning, because I am putting this is a journey I am sending you on, believe it or not. And I am doing everything in a way that will allow you to effectively think about how you want to run your business and bring your business to life, right? So you want to go back and you want to talk to your candidates and you want to talk to your clients to ensure that you understand what they're currently being presented with and what they are missing, right? And then once you do that, you'll have an ability to be able to see what the landscape looks like. And then you can say, okay, well, I know that everybody is doing this, or people are doing this well. However, they suck at this. Is there a way that I can utilize my experience, my knowledge, my network to implement this because my major competitors aren't doing this well? Or to do this because I see that nobody is filling the need of this, right? As I talk to candidates, I see that this is missing. I don't see anybody working to fill that need. Or as I talk to clients, this is missing. I don't see anybody filling that need, right? Or even just being in the market, just seeing how things are going within your niche space, right? Seeing how what's missing in the market based on articles, based on podcasts and magazines. You can see what's kind of missing. Then you can also create additional services and or even products. The one thing I find very interesting is recruitment and staffing agencies do not offer many products. They only offer services. This is where I'm talking about where we haven't expanded yet. And this is why you being in your niche space is so valuable, because it gives you an opportunity to have not just services, but products as well. And when I say products, I'm talking about other recruitment and staffing products or other training products that will be useful for your client and candidate market. I know one thing, like for nurses, I'll just say this really quickly. Nurses love gear. They love gear. And when I say they love gear, I mean they love gear. I've got one client right now. You guys should go check her out. She is inursestaff.com. I believe she's going to kill me if that's not the right one. Her and her husband have started their own niche recruitment and staffing business, and she's an RN, and she's taking her knowledge and experience, and she's turning it into something so much more. So anyway, if you go to iNurseStaff and you are, hold on, I'm going to make sure because I'm pulling it up. I'm giving you this, iNurseStaff. Yep, iNurseStaff.com. If you notice on her website, which we designed for, just so you know, and her logo, which I'm very proud of because it looks great. But if you go to her shop, she is actually selling nurse swag. And I was so excited to see her even be open to this idea. And she sells. That's the interesting thing. So, she has shirts, she has mugs, bags, tumblers, totes, like all types of things that she's selling. And she's just getting started, I promise you. And I'm really excited because this is a great way to drive traffic to your website. What a great way to drive nurses to your website. I would like to see her sell maybe some, scrubs and, the things that go around their neck, the thermometer or whatever it's called. I don't know. I am a very healthy person. I don't go to the doctors often. But some things that maybe even the little shoes that they wear. But talk about driving traffic to your website. You've got a shop right on your website. You're selling things that your target market actually needs, right? Which means that you're becoming a value add, which means you're now presenting a stronger value proposition for your candidates. I mean, that's freaking awesome, right? This is the thought process that I really want you to start getting into. How can you provide a value add? Now, a lot of people believe that their value add on the hiring manager side, on the client side, is a free download. And it is, right, to some degree. But what else do HR leaders need? What else do line managers need or want within your particular niche market? You see, the larger companies, it's harder for them to do this because they're not niche enough, right? They don't really have their finger on the market because they're covering everything. But you, my friend, my wonderful staffingpreneur, you have so much more. You are dominating a specific niche market. And when you are dominating a specific niche market, it gives you an opportunity to know your market in a totally different way. Oh yeah, in a totally different way. And then that way you can actually add a true value proposition for your clients and candidates. We will continue to talk about this in just a moment. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
If you ever thought about starting your own employment agency business, but don't know where to start, don't worry, you're not alone. Staffingpreneurs Academy is your #1 online training resource for starting, maintaining, and growing your very own niche recruitment and staffing agency business. Matching professionals with great job opportunity is one of the most rewarding career opportunities you can ever imagine. When receiving training and coaching from Staffingpreneurs Academy, you'll be well positioned for future success. For more information, visit www.staffingpreneursacademy.com.
And we are back, and we are talking about the unique value proposition that you offer both your clients and your candidates. And we've talked a little bit about value proposition for your candidates, right? Just a little bit. We talked about potentially offering some swag gear or some products, right? That may potentially support your candidate within their search. Everything doesn't have to be resume writing. People always go back to resume writing. Although that is a valuable key part of this business, that's something that you should automatically offer for the most part. For the most part, like when you're meeting your candidates and you're ready to submit them, you should offer that service. Now, for people who you are not submitting and you want to drive traffic, you can definitely add a resume writing piece to your business, but you really want to focus on things that can help them connect with you and to refer you and to become a part of your niche recruitment and staffing businesses, quote unquote, tribe, right? On the candidate side of the business. But let's talk about the client side of the business for a little bit, and hiring managers. So I read somewhere before, and I really love this, and I don't know if I have it all the way right, but I stuck by these 3 things. I read somewhere before that an effective, unique value proposition has to meet the criteria of 3 specific things. One, it's got to be important to your prospect. So what's important to your hiring managers? What is important to the person that makes the hiring decision or the person who signs the contract that you want to do business with? Is it quality? Is it pricing? Is it speed? Or is it just focusing on the finding the right fit, right? So like what's important to them? What do they need in order for them to see you as a business partner and not just someone who's shopping resumes around, which just FYI, that is so outdated. It's insane. Okay. So don't shop resumes. Okay. The second part of that criteria is that your unique value proposition has to be unique to you, right? So we talked about the shop for the candidate side, but like, what about you? Like, do you have a specific process that you go through, a screening process? Do you have is there a specific, spreadsheet that you use to do certain things, some type of methodology? Do you offer consulting? Do you offer training, onboarding? Like, what do you do differently? It has to be something that's unique to you. Maybe you guys provide, a specific type of solution during the get to know you phase. I don't know, but it's got to be unique to your company, because if everybody else is doing it, then it's no longer really very unique, right? So this has to be something that's unique to your company. And then the third one was you've got to be, the unique value proposition has to be, I think it was dependable is the word. It is meaning that you've got to be able to back up the things that you're saying. Don't just create a value proposition on the fly like, oh, this is what we do. And then, you're unable to follow through. I see a lot of people who are I just met a young lady recently, actually. She reached out. She joined one of my, the free Facebook group for staffingpreneurs. It's Start a Staffing Biz on Facebook. So she joined the group, and I reached out to her based on her responses, because there are responses that you have to answer in order to be a part of the group, right? And whatever her response was, I got fired up, and I reached out to her, which I never do. And she's like, oh my God, Dee, I started my business about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, I think. I don't want to tell a story. And I have worked all of this time to try to get a contract. I finally got a contract, and I've got thousands of positions to fill now. And I was thinking, oh, that's great. So I asked her, okay, how many people are in your agency with you? And she's like, just me. And I'm like, what did you tell these people? Did you tell them you were going to fill all of those thousands of positions? She's like, no. So I figured out she was on a VMS. And so I said, well, how are things going? She said, well, I'm just filling positions all day long, just going in. All I got to do is just submit resumes, and then they define whether or not they want them or not. And I said, is this what your idea was of starting this business? Did you think it would be like this? And, I don't know if she really knew the answer to that, but I know that by the end of the conversation, she realized that she didn't just want to push candidates over, or push resumes over for that matter. So she started asking me, how can I get my own clients, Dee? What can I do to get my own clients so that I can have real relationships and be a true partner to these companies? And then the conversation started to get interesting. And my next question was, what is your UVP, your unique value proposition? And that's where our conversation ended. And that's where it will begin when we start coaching. So today, I just felt fired up when I woke up this morning, because I know that many of you are starting this business. A lot of you aren't getting coaching. You're not getting training, which is fine for you, except you risk missing out on what it really means to have a niche recruitment and staffing business in 2018. You miss out on all of the important things that you need to understand in order to really be a true business partner, right? And that's what this podcast is really about. And I'm so passionate about this. Like, I get customers who say, Dee, I don't understand. How can you place recruiters and help companies hire recruiters, but yet you show professionals how to start a staffing business? And I said simply this: people are going to come into this business whether I want them to or not, or whether the other 19,000 agencies want them to or not, right? My goal is to help staffingpreneurs become real partners with talent acquisition, with venture capitalists, with the line managers, with candidates, so that we can be seen as partners. That's it. I want us to be seen as partners because we do bring so much value. Recruitment and staffing agencies are a strategic play. Back in the day, it was more commoditized. But today, it is a strategic play to assist companies with building, managing, maintaining their contingent workforce, or helping them find talent that they otherwise could not find on their own. It is a strategic play. And you have to think that way, and you have to know that way, and you have to walk in the sense that you feel confident that the solutions that you're providing to both hiring managers and to candidates is a strategic play on both parts, and they would be absolutely crazy not to partner with you. When you have that thought process, when you have that mind process, creating your value proposition gets easier and easier and easier. And let me tell you, staffingpreneurs, if you're listening to this podcast right now, it's your time to take your business to another level. Whether you're in the startups phase or whether you're expanding, it is your time. Start out with doing a competitive shakedown. Start off with creating your value proposition. More importantly, start off getting your entrepreneurial mind right so that you can do this thing the way you know you can do it and the way it's supposed to be done. You are listening to the staffingstartup.tv podcast. Yes, I'm fired up about supporting you in your journey of starting and scaling your very own niche recruitment and staffing business. I really appreciate you taking the time and hanging out with me today. On our next episode, we'll be hanging out with Steve Witzenkorn. So please come back for episode number 10. It's going to be a phenomenal interview. I appreciate you. Keep doing big things and have an amazing day. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the staffingstartup.tv podcast. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you'd like more information on any of our stories or would like to know how to get involved and share your story, head over to our website at staffingstartup.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, and please leave a 5-star rating and a super awesome review so others can enjoy the show too. Check out the live video footage on YouTube. Have a great week, and we'll see you next episode.